Now that we have our lot placed or drawn, we also have the house outlined on the lot. If you remember, this right here is a high water mark, high water line that goes across the lot. So that's why we placed the home in the upper portion, the higher portion of the lot. So and again, like I said, there's a lot of flexibility in the exact location of this home on the lot. We can put it all the way to the west, all the way to the east. We can put it a little closer, a little further away to that setback line. That really is the in the preference to the preference of the homeowner. So now what we want to do is take a look at the cover sheet and kind of at least take at least a preliminary look at how that's going to look. So I'm going to go to basically a blank layout, and I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to call it cover sheet. Oops. Okay, and then I want to go to the page setup manager and modify it. In my case, the plotter that I'm going to send it to will be the HP, I'm sorry, yeah, the HP DesignJet 1050C. It's going to be to 11 by 22 by 17 piece of paper, and I like to use an oversize whenever I can. Some plotters have that, some plotters don't. And I guess I'll take a preview, but that's fine. And it is okay. And so what we're going to have is this lot right here in one viewport, and I'm going to place it right over here, or here. I guess that would be fine too. I'm going to put a elevation up here, and I'm going to put an index right here. So I'll put the lot over here, the index over here, so it'll be nice and easy to see on the right-hand side, and a elevation up here. The elevation is really not to scale. So I'm going to make another viewport right here, go inside model space, and I'm going to zoom in on a front elevation right there. Make sure that we can see it all. I am eventually going to freeze the layer that has the foundation in it. Then, and the text over here, by the way, is going to be done in right out in Hyperspace, so that we don't have to worry about that. And this lot, I'm going to walk through the process here just so that you can see the problems that exist, keeping in mind that this is probably 5 to 10 times larger than any lot that you may see that you generally see in a city. Keeping that in mind, I'm going to still go and size this. So I'm going to highlight that viewport. I'm going to go to properties by right-clicking, and I'm going to size this. Now we go to standard scale, and we have all of these mechanical type scales. We have all of these architectural type scales. One thing that we don't have real handy are the civil type scales. Now this is likely, at least possibly, the first time that you've dealt with civil engineering type scales, but the common scales there are 1 inch equals 10 feet, 1 inch equals 20 feet, 1 inch equals 50 feet, 1 inch equals 40 feet, 1 inch equals 100 feet, and 1,000 feet. So those are the common civil engineering scales. We don't see those here. So I'm just going to show you something. And we take 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. I guess that's not a good example. I'm just going to I'm just going to go back to where it defaults 1 to 1, and just kind of explain this. What we're going to do, what we'd love to do, is have this plot plan scaled at 1 inch equals 40 feet, or maybe 1 inch equals 50 feet. Let's say 1 inch equals 50 feet. So what we're going to do is to say, okay, how many 1 inch increments are there in 50 feet? Well, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. 12 times 50 is 600. So what we want to put here is 1 over 600. And so we're going to plot it at 1/600th size. And so now there we have that, and I'm going to pan inside this. So here is our little problem. We have a viewport let me see, I'll make it visible. There is our lot. It is huge. So we have a couple of choices here. And one would be to scale it all the way back to 1 inch equals 100 feet. And let's take a look at that. So we go to properties. And by the way, notice it defaulted back to 0 because that fraction was so small, it defaulted back to 0. So 1 inch equals 100 feet would be 1 over 1,200. So now we can see that it is small enough, but that is going to be so small. Just make sure that we understand exactly what we're dealing with here. That is going to be so small that we won't be able to dimension it. We have some notes and dimensions that we want to put on there. That is so small. The house is probably 50 feet wide, so the house itself is going to be a ½ inch wide when it's plotted. Just imagine that. That's going to be so small. So I'm going to actually just undo that and get back to that larger scale. Here's what I'm going to suggest that you can see that really the important part right here is back here in the towards the riverside, and up here is the real important part where we're actually putting the house. So I'm going to basically break out some of this stuff that we don't have any use for. With this lot being set kind of kittywampus on the it's kind of going up at a 30-degree angle. It would be nice if it was vertical. So I'm going to go back to model space for a moment. And I'm going to insert, I don't think it's going to show up very well here. I'm just going to show you in Design Center, in the Design Center, right here, this icon. We can click on that and go to the house design, actually landscape drawings. And under the landscape blocks, there is a north symbol. Now you can create your own if you want, but that is a nice north symbol. I've already downloaded it. So I have that available to me, and I'm just going to go in here, and I have it, and it's called the north symbol. I'm going to see if it's that one. Okay, this is actually not it. That one works also, but the one that is in the design center looks a little bit different. By the way, again, that one would be just fine. Insert block. The other one is called North Arrow. And I'll copy there, pop that in right there. You can see it's so small. I'm going to scale it up. Let's say 12 times. I don't know how. Scale. might be pretty good right there. I'm just going to move that down here for now. We'll move it into position in a little bit. But I wanted to do this. I wanted to put that north symbol in right now because this is what I'm going to do. By eye, I'm going to rotate the entire lot. But I wanted that north symbol in there so I don't get that out of whack here. So I'm just by eye going to rotate this, and it really doesn't matter a whole lot because we're going to actually note and put in here the bearing and the lengths. So it's not going to be critical that I get it rotated exactly to the right degree. But notice that this north symbol rotated obviously with the lot. That's what I wanted to accomplish there. So now I'm going to go back to my cover sheet and notice that it rotated just like we want it. And I'm going to grab that viewport right there, move it a little bit right up into place right there, and then instead of instead of cutting another viewport right here and then zooming in, I'm just going to copy this. I'll put ortho on, although it's not critical right now. And then I'm going to go inside this viewport and pan. Now I'm not expecting, and I'm not going to get these two to line up. It's not going to work that way because they're not at the portion that I cut out. They're not parallel. These two lines are not parallel, so it's going to be these are not going to match up right here. That the widths are not going to match up, and that I'm okay with that. So, and now I can play with these locations as much as I want to, and I can move the viewports. The one thing that I would do very soon is to make sure that the um, zoom factor is locked. So I don't, by accident, um, I don't change the scale of either one of those. So now I'm just going to move that so just a little bit up into place there. Okay, and then the last thing that I have is some of the index here. Um, Now I'm going to give you a full list of the list of the sheets and such, but the thing that you want to do is take a look at the styles that are available and um, and pick one that is appropriate. We want something that's nice and number one, easily read. We want something um, that is dark enough that it can be again easily read, but simple enough that it would be not confusing. We want it to be somewhat compatible to the feel of the structure. So find something that works well. I wish I had a real good suggestion right here. I don't. Um, Arial is always kind of safe. That eh, you know what? We can always change it. I'm gonna be a little bold here. I'm gonna try that. I'm going to create a new one with that lithograph, and I'm gonna call it index. Okay, and the index we're going to do that, and um, I don't know that we need to have it bold, but that's fine. And close. So is that the okay? So now I would go out here and go dtext and the height for us. I'm guessing that probably 3/8 of an inch, 0.375, and east is just fine. And enter the text. And first I'll just I want to put these all in caps. Index. and I'll just say 1 space foundation plan, 2 space period space first floor plan, 3 second floor plan. And like I said, I will give you a list of these. I'm just going to put some oops, yeah. And we'll put a full list of the index names there. And then of course we would move all of these together so that we get a good balance. The last thing I'm going to say, because this segment of the video is already getting a little bit long, I'm going to do a polyline. We're not going to put a border and a title block. I shouldn't say that. We're not going to put a title block on this, but we are going to put a border on this. So first, what I want to do is draw a rectangle from 0, 0 to 22, 17. And the unfortunate thing is, yeah, you can't really see it because it's right on the paper edge here. And then I'm just going to offset that ½ inch. Okay, so that's good. And the what I want to do is I want to put a thickness of this at 1/32 inch. And okay, so I just want to make sure that we're okay. I'm going to put the highlight the thickness. You can see that there is some thickness there. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fillet this. And if the radius is not already set at 1/2 inch, do that. And then I want a radius of 1/2 inch on the polyline. So P for polyline, and I'll pick that, and it does all of the polylines at the same time. I'm sorry, it does all of the corners at the same time. And so we have our layout. The thing that's nice about the elevations is that we can size this, the elevation I should say, we can size this any size that we want to. We can go in here and go in here and zoom in a little bit if we have a little bit more room, zoom out a little bit if it gets a little bit too tight. The one thing is that we do want it at an appropriate size. Now what exactly is that? That's kind of um, can be kind of argued. Same thing goes for the text here. I would play around with that. Once I said, okay, I'm going to start at 3/8 of an inch, I would look at that and play around with it a little bit, make sure that it's the right size after I have my full list of sheets there. The one that needs to be to scale is the plot plan. We need to know what scale that is so that when we're putting the notes and such in there, if somebody uses this and uses it and needs to scale something, that information is right there. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording right now and move on.